Scholars! Alright, so we are going to get started on our reading unit. This is not just going to be a single story, we're going to be doing a whole unit, alright? And the first story in this unit that we are going to be doing virtually is called Androcles and the Lion, alright? So you will see the slides that will take you step by step through this unit in the Google Classroom. And additionally, every day you will have a short assignment to go along with it, all right? But in the slides, you'll notice that there are places that say click here to look at how Miss B does this. And these are the videos that are going to show up. So hello, all right, y'all. So this is the video for the first part of our unit, the first part of the story, where it's asking us to go through and figure out what are the key details from this story. The story, again, is Androcles and the Lion. If you haven't read it yet, please go through the Google Slides, find the story, and read it yourself. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working to try to find the key details and pull out and take notes on the key details so that we can eventually create a good summary of this story. So I am going to be creating my key details chart on this piece of paper. That's going to be my scholar paper. If you have a piece of paper and a pencil at home, please get to work on that. You're also welcome to use a Google Doc to create your key details and to take notes on the story. All right, I'll be right back. Had to get some markers because of course I forget something, all right? So the first thing we need to do is we need to read the story once through. And I'm going to assume that you have already done that. I've already done it. I've already read through the story just to kind of get an idea of what the story is about. And now I'm going to go back in and I am going to figure out, well, what are the most important details of this story? What are the pieces that I can pull out that are going to be the most important? So when I create a summary, I'm still capturing all the important ideas that happen. So I'm going to go through, and it starts back in the days of the Roman Empire. A slave named Androcles escaped from his master and fled into a deep, dark forest. While wandering about in the dense woods, he came upon a lion lying down, loudly moaning and groaning. Well, it seems important that he finds a lion because, first of all, the story is called Androcles and the Lion, and second of all, if I'm walking around and I come across a lion, I'm gonna say that that's pretty important, right? Like that's something that I'm gonna be telling somebody later in my day. So my first key detail Androcles finds, just mix this up, a lion. And as I keep reading, I'll see that it says, let me see if I can make this brighter for you all. Is that helpful? A little bit. All right. Keep reading. At first, Androcles turned to flee, but finding that the lion did not pursue him, he turned back and went up to the beast. As he came near, the lion put out his paw, which was swollen and bleeding. All right, so now we know Androcles doesn't just find a lion, he finds a lion that's paw is hurt, that's hurt. And I'm going to think, all right, well, is this going to be important later in the story? Is it important that it's hurt? Well, Androcles found that a huge thorn had gotten into the paw and that was causing the lion's pain. Androcles pulled out the thorn and bound up the paw of the lion. The grateful cat rose and, not unlike a house pet, licked the hand of Androcles. So it turns out that it was important that the lion was hurt because had the lion not been hurt, maybe he would have run after Androcles, right? Maybe he would have tried to attack him. But instead of doing this, because the lion is hurt, what does Androcles do? He helps the lion. And that's going to turn out, that's probably going to be important, right? To find out, okay, now this lion, it says, the lion, not unlike a house pet, licked the hand of Androcles. So what's important here? Androcles finds a lion. The lion is hurt. And what does Androcles do? What's my second key detail? Does he run away? Because if he runs away, one thing is going to happen. Does he hurt the lion? If he hurts the lion, another thing is going to happen. No, what does he do? He helps the lion. So that's another key detail. Androcles helps the lion. And it's also important that I note what the lion does in response, right? And the lion, now I don't need to say everything from the story. I don't need to say the grateful cat rose and not unlike a house pet licked the hand of Androcles, but I want to show that the lion is now acting really nice to Androcles, right? And the lion acts friendly, or you could say nice, towards Androcles, right? So now I've got two key details from the story already, right? Androcles finds a lion and it's hurt. Androcles helps the lion, and the lion becomes friendly towards Androcles. So as I read paragraph 2, it says, the lion took Androcles to his cave. Every day he brought Androcles meat, which filled Androcles' stomach. Well, that is important, but I've already captured that within key detail number 2 when I said the lion acts friendly or nice towards Androcles, so I don't need to repeat myself. I've already said it once. And as I continue to read, it says, but shortly afterward, both Androcles and the lion are captured and sent to the city to be part of a public spectacle. Well, it's probably important that they get captured, because had they not gotten captured, they may have still lived in the woods. But instead, they get captured, and that is important. That is going to impact my story. I'm going to write that as the detail. KD for key detail, or Kevin Durant if you are a Brooklyn Nets fan. Androcles and the lion get captured. So now we need to read to figure out, well, what happens once they get captured, right? Because that's going to impact what happens next in our story. So as we continue reading, we find out, and you can do this on your own, that something happens to Androcles, something happens to him, and the lion. They both get sent somewhere. And what happens after that? Well, that is up to you all to try to figure out. Now, you're welcome to do that with a friend. You're welcome to do that with a family member. You're welcome to message me and ask me any questions that you have about it. But I want you to think about, there are 1 to 2 more, no, I'm going to say there are 2 more key details from this story. 2 more really important things. Right? And I want you to try to figure out, what are those key details, right? We figured out the first one. Androcles finds a lion, the lion is hurt. And that's important because if he doesn't find a lion, then the story doesn't happen. We find out that Androcles helps the lion. The lion's hurt and he helps him. And then the lion acts friendly towards him. That's important because it's important that we know how the lion acts to him. Otherwise, it might, like, if for example, the lion acted differently, the lion started going after him and chasing him and trying to eat him, we would have a very different story on our hands, right? And lastly, we see that they get captured. And it's important that they get captured because had they not gotten captured, the story isn't going to progress, right? The story isn't going to move forward. So in paragraph 3, there are 2 more key details that really shape what happens in the story. That if I was summarizing the story, if I was putting it all together, I would say these are 2 really important things. And that's your job to try to find on your own. And by on your own, I obviously mean, like, you're welcome to get help from others, you're welcome to help other people, you're welcome to reach out to me, but I am not going to share in this video what those are. What I am going to do is I'm going to move on to thinking about how I'm going to summarize this,